For 3 years, I married Fu Jingyan in a business marriage. I was the obedient, docile, and endlessly tolerant Mrs. Fu that the entire upper class talked about. Everyone said I was lucky enough to marry the most powerful, cold, and untouchable talk tycoon in the city. They envied me for stepping into the richest family overnight, for having a noble status that countless socialites dreamed of. No one knew that for 3 years, this marriage was nothing but a cold, empty cage for me. Fu Jingyan never touched me, never cared about me, never even gave me a single sincere glance. He kept his childhood sweetheart, Lin Xinyu, as his hidden lover outside the marriage. He spoiled her, indulged her, and responded to every one of her petty demands, while treating his legal wife, me, as a transparent decoration. He made me hold the Fu family's reputation for him, endure all the gossip and slander alone, clean up the messes caused by his lover's willfulness, and maintain the perfect image of a harmonious, wealthy couple for the public. I endured 3 years of cold violence, 3 years of unrequited devotion, 3 years of being a laughingstock in the circle. I used to be foolishly persistent, thinking that sincerity could melt ice, that long-term companionship could replace fleeting passion. Until the day my 26th birthday came, and I accidentally awakened a superpower that no one could believe. I could hear people's inner thoughts. The first voice I heard was the hidden regret and frantic jealousy hidden deep in Fu Jingyan's heart that he had never dared to show to the world. That night, I prepared a birthday dinner for myself alone in the empty Fu family mansion. The huge villa was brightly lit, with delicate dishes on the table and a lit birthday cake, but there was only me sitting alone. It was my birthday, but Fu Jingyan had been with Lin Xinyu all day. He didn't send a message, didn't make a phone call, and didn't even remember this day. Late at night, he pushed open the villa door in a slightly messy custom suit, his sleeves stained with the faint fragrance of another woman's perfume. His face was cold and stern, his brows tightly furrowed, and his eyes were full of impatience and alienation when he saw me sitting at the dining table. Before he could open his mouth to sneer at my self-moved tenderness, a clear, crazy inner voice suddenly exploded in my mind.
Damn.
Why does she look so lonely sitting there? My chest hurts so bad. I've been with Xinyu all day, but I haven't been happy for a second. My eyes keep flashing her quiet, forbearing face. I don't want to come back, but my feet can't help walking home. This empty home is only warm when she's here. I froze in place, my fingertips holding the fork trembling slightly. I stared at the man in front of me who was obviously cold and impatient on the surface, but was flustered and distressed inside, and for the first time in 3 years, I felt a ridiculous sense of absurdity. On the surface, Fu Jingyan said coldly, his tone full of disgust, "You're wasting your time with these meaningless things. I don't have time to accompany you to play house. Don't be delusional." But his inner thoughts were frantically screaming, "Quickly talk to me. Lose your temper. Cry, question me. Don't sit there silently enduring it." I'm terrified of her quiet appearance. I slowly raised my eyes, looked at him calmly, and asked softly, "Fu Jingyan, do you hate me?" His body stiffened slightly, his eyes dodged unconsciously, and his voice became colder. "Yes, I have never loved you. The only person I love is Xinyu. This marriage is just a transaction forced by the family." The decisive and ruthless words were like a knife, cutting through the last trace of my delusion. But the voice in his heart was completely opposite, broken and flustered. "No, I don't hate her. I'm the one who's terrified. I'm afraid I'll sink deeper and deeper into her tenderness, afraid I'll betray my so-called persistence, afraid I'll fall in love with my legal wife who I've been neglecting." I lied. I've long been unable to let her go, but I'm too arrogant to admit it. I suddenly laughed softly, the laughter light and cold, without any warmth. For 3 years, I thought he was ruthless, heartless, and only had Lin Xinyu in his heart. It turned out that he had long been tempted, long been reluctant, long been trapped in regret, but his ridiculous pride and obsessive stubbornness made him pretend to be cold and ruthless, hurting me again and again. What's more ridiculous is that all his inner distress and regret were never for me, but for his own stubbornness and loss. He enjoyed my wholehearted devotion, my endless tolerance, my silent companionship, but refused to give me a trace of tenderness, and even took the initiative to hurt me to prove his so-called loyalty to his white moonlight. Now that I can hear his inner voice, all his superficial coldness and arrogance have become a ridiculous farce in my eyes. I stood up slowly, wiped the tiny cream stains on my fingers, and looked at him indifferently. "Got it. Since you hate me so much, let's get divorced." Fu Jingyan's eyes widened suddenly, his cold face instantly cracked, and panic surged up uncontrollably. He thought I would cry, make trouble, beg for mercy, and cling to this marriage like in the past. He never thought that I would take the initiative to mention divorce without hesitation. On the surface, he forced himself to remain calm and cold. You're throwing a tantrum? Su Qing, don't be childish. The Fu family's marriage can't be divorced casually. But his heart was roaring crazily. Divorce? She wants to divorce me? No, absolutely not. I won't allow it. I'd rather break everything than let her leave me. I finally understand today. All my tenderness for Sinew is just obsession. The person I can't lose is obviously her. I looked at his tangled and contradictory appearance, and the last trace of affection in my heart was completely exhausted. Fu Jingyan, your regret is too late, and your secret love is too cheap. I've endured your cold violence for 3 years, and I don't want to waste another second on you. From today on, I will no longer be your humble and tolerant Mrs. Fu. I will take back all my sincerity, withdraw all my devotion, and let you taste the endless regret and crematorium that you have forced me to endure for 3 years. Hashtag Chapter 1 Mind Reading Awakening. See through all hypocrisy. After awakening the mind-reading superpower, my world was completely reversed. In the past, I could only see everyone's superficial expressions and words, being fooled by hypocrisy and hurt by indifference. Now, I can directly penetrate the disguise of everyone around me, see their truest thoughts and dark intentions. The first person I completely saw through was Fu Jingyan's white moonlight, Lin Sinew. Lin Sinew was always known in the circle as a gentle, weak, kind, and innocent white lotus. She was delicate and pitiful, always pretending to be sensible and considerate in front of Fu Jingyan, never competing or grabbing, seemingly harmless to humans and animals. Fu Jingyan felt sorry for her orphan background, spoiled her without bottom line, and believed all her hypocritical words. But after I awakened my superpower, I heard her dirty and greedy inner thoughts clearly every time she appeared. The next day after my birthday, Lin Sinew took the initiative to come to the Fu family mansion, wearing a white dress, with red eyes and a weak posture, as if she had been wronged greatly. She stood in front of me, her voice soft and trembling. Sister Su, I heard you quarreled with Brother Jingyan last night. It's all my fault. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't be angry. I will leave City Chung from today on and never disturb you and Brother Jingyan again. On the surface, she was humble and yielding, taking all the faults on herself. But her inner thoughts were full of malice and arrogance. Fool, just quarrel with Jingyan. The more you quarrel, the more Jingyan feels sorry for me. He only pities the weak. A cold and rigid woman like you is never worthy of him. I've held him in my palm for so many years. No matter how formal your status is, you're just a vacant Mrs. Fu. Sooner or later, I will kick you out and take your position. I looked at her delicate and pitiful face, and the corners of my mouth raised a cold arc. In the past, I would be made to feel guilty by her words, thinking that I was the outsider who destroyed their true love. Now, I only feel ridiculous and disgusting. I didn't argue with her, didn't get angry, just looked at her calmly and said, "No need to leave. You can stay by his side forever." Lin Sinew was stunned for a moment, obviously not expecting me to be so calm. She was ready to provoke me to get angry and lose my temper so that she could pretend to be wronged in front of Fu Jingyan. Her heart was full of confusion. What's wrong with this woman? She's not angry? Doesn't she care about her husband? Just at this moment, Fu Jingyan walked in from the door. As soon as he entered the room, he saw Lin Sinew with red eyes and my calm and indifferent appearance. He subconsciously stood in front of Lin Sinew, his eyes cold and reproachful towards me. "Su Qing, what did you say to Sinew again? She came here to apologize to you. Why are you making things difficult for her?" His tone was severe, full of protection for Lin Sinew. But his inner thoughts were completely different. Damn, I don't want to protect Sinew at all. I just habitually maintain her. But when I see Qing Qing's indifferent eyes, my heart aches badly. She's really not angry anymore. She's really not caring about me anymore. I hate this feeling of being ignored by her more than her losing her temper. I raised my eyes, looked straight at Fu Jingyan, and said word by word, "I didn't make things difficult for her. I just told her that she can stay with you forever. I'm going to divorce you, so your love has nothing to do with me." As soon as the word divorce fell, Fu Jingyan's body trembled violently, his eyes flustered, and his imposing manner instantly collapsed. He took a step forward subconsciously, wanting to grab my wrist, but I avoided him neatly. His heart was screaming frantically. Divorce again. She really wants to divorce me. I can't accept it. I'd rather humble myself than let her go. Lin Sinew was also shocked. She never thought that I would take the initiative to divorce Fu Jingyan. In her cognition, I was a woman who clung to the wealthy wife status and would never take the initiative to leave. Her heart was full of ecstasy and greed. Great, she's taking the initiative to divorce. As long as she leaves, Mrs. Fu's position is mine. I've waited 3 years for this day. I listened to the completely different inner thoughts of the two people in front of me and felt more and more cold in my heart. Fu Qingyan was hypocritical and contradictory, hurting me while regretting secretly. Lin Xinyu was vicious and greedy, pretending to be gentle while calculating my status. For 3 years, I was trapped in this ridiculous relationship, suffering alone, while these two people were performing a farce of true love. It's time to end it all. I took out the pre-prepared divorce agreement from my bag, put it on the coffee table, and pushed it in front of Fu Jingyan. Sign it. I don't want any of the Fu family's property. No alimony, no compensation. I only want a clean divorce. Fu Jingyan stared at the divorce agreement, his knuckles turning white with tension, his eyes full of panic and disbelief. On the surface, he forced himself to be cold. Su Qing, don't regret it. Once you divorce me, you will lose all the glory of the Fu family. But his heart was already in chaos. I don't want glory. I want you. As long as you stay, I can give you everything. Don't leave me. I smiled faintly, my eyes clear and indifferent, without a trace of nostalgia. I never rely on the Fu family's glory. All my abilities and achievements are earned by myself. Without the Fu family, I live better. This sentence was not arrogant, but a fact. No one knew that I was a top financial genius hidden in the wealthy circle. I had my own independent investment company and studio. My personal assets had long surpassed the Fu family's market value, but I had been hiding my edge for 3 years because of this marriage. Now, I don't need to hide anymore. Lin Xinyu looked at the divorce agreement excitedly, wishing Fu Jingyan would sign it immediately. Her inner thoughts were extremely urgent. Sign quickly, kick this ugly woman out. I'm going to be Mrs. Fu. I glanced at her coldly, and a plan of face-slapping and anti-counterattack quietly took shape in my heart. Since you love pretending, I will tear off all your disguises completely, let everyone see your ugly true face, and let you lose everything you crave. Hashtag Chapter 2 Public Face Slapping. Expose the White Lotus true colors. The annual citywide wealthy charity dinner is the most high-profile event in the upper-class circle. All top wealthy families, celebrities, and elites gather here, and every move will be magnified by the media. Originally, I didn't plan to attend, but Lin Xinyu took the initiative to announce in the circle that she would attend the dinner with Fu Jingyan and publicly hinted that my marriage with Fu Jingyan was on the verge of collapse, and she would officially take over Mrs. Fu's position. Many socialites who had long been jealous of my status began to ridicule me in private, saying that I was a deserted wife who was about to be abandoned, and that Lin Xinyu was the real winner. After hearing these words, Lin Xinyu became more arrogant. She deliberately bought a limited edition custom dress, dressed gorgeously, and waited to shine at the dinner, completely crushing me. Her inner thoughts were extremely arrogant. Tonight, I will let the entire upper class know that Jingyan belongs to me. Su Qing is just a discarded loser. I will step on her head and become the most envied woman in the city. Knowing all her thoughts, I simply changed my mind and decided to attend the dinner. Since she is eager to be shameful, I will give her a grand public humiliation. On the night of the dinner, the banquet hall was resplendent and magnificent, with stars shining brightly. Lin Xinyu appeared beside Fu Jingyan in a luxurious dress, clinging tightly to his arm, her expression gentle and delicate, accepting the surrounding guests' blessings and flattery. Fu Jingyan was always cold and silent, but he did not push Lin Xinyu away, allowing her to pretend to be his girlfriend in public. But his inner thoughts were always wandering on me. Why hasn't Qingqing come today? Will she be angry when she sees me with Xinyu? No, she's already going to divorce me. She won't care about me anymore. My heart is so empty. I don't want to stand here with Xinyu at all. I only want to find Qingqing's figure. Just as the crowd was surrounding Lin Xinyu to praise her, the entrance of the banquet hall suddenly fell silent. I walked in slowly. I wore a minimalist black high-end custom gown with a slender figure, cold and elegant temperament, no excessive decoration, but every move was full of top-level elite aura, completely crushing all the socialites present. I didn't walk towards Fu Jingyan, but walked straight to the front row of the banquet hall, greeted the top bosses and industry leaders present calmly, and talked and laughed freely. Everyone was stunned. In the past, I always followed Fu Jingyan silently, humble and low-key, never taking the initiative to socialize, never showing my edge. But today, I am shining brightly, confident and powerful, standing at the top of the crowd, completely outshining Lin Sinew's deliberate glamour. Fu Jing'an's eyes locked on me the moment I appeared, unable to move away for a second. His heart was filled with intense shock and regret. This is my wife. She's so dazzling. I'm so stupid to have ignored her light for 3 years. Lin Sinew's smile froze on her face instantly, and her heart was full of crazy jealousy and panic. No, why is she so beautiful today? She can't steal my limelight. This dinner is my stage. She couldn't hold back her jealousy, let go of Fu Jing'an's arm, and took the initiative to walk towards me, pretending to be gentle and concerned. Sister Su, you're here alone today? Why didn't you come with Brother Jing'an? Everyone is saying you two are getting divorced. Is it true? Her words were clearly intentional, wanting to expose my marital problems in public, make me lose face, and set off her intimate relationship with Fu Jing'an. The surrounding guests immediately pricked up their ears, waiting to watch the excitement. Lin Sinew was proud in her heart. Wait for her to be embarrassed. Wait for everyone to laugh at her. I looked at her pretendingly gentle face, curled my lips coldly, and spoke in a clear and loud voice that all the surrounding people could hear. Divorce is true. After all, some people are used to occupying other people's husbands and pretending to be innocent. I don't want to share a partner with a hypocritical White Lotus. As soon as I finished speaking, the whole audience was in an uproar. Lin Sinew's face turned pale instantly, and she panicked and explained, Sister Su, what are you talking about? I don't have it. I've always kept a distance from Brother Jing'an. Her heart was screaming crazily. Don't talk nonsense. Don't ruin my reputation. I smiled faintly and directly threw out the evidence I had prepared long ago. No distance. Then what about the luxury houses, cars, and limited jewelry that Fu Jing'an bought for you in the past 3 years? What about the late-night chat records and hotel check-in records? Do you need me to project them on the big screen for everyone to see? Lin Sinew's whole body trembled violently, her legs went weak, and she almost collapsed on the spot. She thought all her secret affairs were well hidden, but she didn't know that I had already seen through all her tricks with my mind-reading ability and collected all the evidence long ago. The surrounding guests looked at Lin Sinew with mocking and disdainful eyes. Everyone finally understood that the so-called innocent white moonlight was just a greedy and scheming mistress who destroyed other people's marriages. Fu Jing'an stood not far away, his face extremely ugly, and his heart was full of overwhelming regret and self-blame. I'm an idiot. I was actually fooled by her hypocrisy for 3 years. I hurt the person who loved me the most for a fake. Ching Ching must have been wronged for so long. I'm really damned. I glanced at the flustered and ashamed Lin Sinew and said coldly, You like to grab other people's things so much. Unfortunately, I don't want this marriage anymore. You can take this man who has no eyes and doesn't know good people. But remember, all the things you grab by scheming will eventually be returned double. Your vanity and greed will destroy you sooner or later. After finishing speaking, I ignored the shocked crowd and the pale-faced Lin Sinew, turned around and left gracefully, leaving a stunning back view. This public face-slapping completely shattered Lin Sinew's White Lotus persona, making her a laughingstock in the entire upper-class circle overnight. And Fu Jing'an's heart was completely ignited by the raging fire of regret. His endless crematorium officially began, and there was no possibility of ending it. Chapter 3 Full-Scale Regret, the scumbag's crazy pursuit. After the charity dinner incident, Lin Sinew's reputation was completely ruined. All the gentle and innocent filters she had accumulated for many years were completely torn off. Everyone knew that she was a scheming and vicious woman who relied on pretending to be weak to snatch other people's husbands. No one was willing to associate with her anymore. All the socialites who had flattered her before turned around and ridiculed her, isolating her completely. She lost all her vanity and glory and could only hide at home every day, trembling with anger and regret. She ran to find Fu Jing'an crying and begging for comfort, wanting to rely on his protection to turn the situation around. But Fu Jing'an completely lost all tenderness towards her. After seeing through her hypocrisy and viciousness, he only felt extremely disgusted. Every time he saw Lin Sinew, he would think of how stupid he was in the past, how he hurt Su Qing for this fake White Lotus, and his heart was filled with endless self-blame. Facing Lin Sinew's crying entanglement, Fu Jing'an's face was cold and his tone ruthless. Get out. Don't appear in front of me again. I don't want to see you. Lin Sinew was stunned, looking at the cold man who had spoiled her for 3 years in disbelief. Brother Jing'an, how can you treat me like this? It's all Su Qing's fault. She framed me. Fu Jing'an sneered coldly, his eyes full of disgust. Frame you? All the evidence is real. You have been lying to me and playing with my feelings. I was blind to indulge you for so many years. From that day on, Fu Jingyan completely cut off all contact with Lin Xinyu, withdrew all resources and property given to her, and let her fall from the altar completely. After solving Lin Xinyu, Fu Jingyan's whole world only had one thought left: get Su Qing back, make up for all the mistakes, and spend his whole life making amends to her. He finally realized how precious my 3 years of sincere devotion were, how ridiculous his past arrogance and blindness were. He began his crazy and humble road of repentance and pursuit. He took the initiative to tear up the divorce agreement, gave up all his work, and stayed at the door of my studio every day, waiting for me to get off work. In the past, he was a high-ranking president who was sought after by everyone, never lowering his head for anyone. Now, he stands at the door in a suit every day, waiting for me from dawn to dusk, regardless of the strange looks from passers-by and employees. He learned to cook my favorite meals by himself, waited for me every night with hot meals, and carefully remembered all my small habits and preferences. He took the initiative to publish a public apology statement on all platforms, admitting his marital betrayal and cold violence, publicly apologizing to me, and announcing to the whole city that I was the only Mrs. Fu in his life. He used to be arrogant and refused to admit his mistakes, but now he humbly confesses his faults to the whole world just to get a chance to forgive me. Every time he saw me, his eyes were full of tiredness, regret, and piety. Qing Qing, I know I was wrong. I was blind, stupid, and unworthy of your sincerity. I have driven away Lin Xinyu completely. There will be no one else between us anymore. Give me a chance to start over. I will spend my whole life loving you, spoiling you, making up for all the grievances you have suffered. Don't divorce me, okay? His voice was hoarse and trembling, full of endless regret. And I, with my mind-reading superpower, can hear his inner thoughts clearly every time. His heart was always filled with crazy regret and panic. I really lost her. I'm so scared. I'd rather lose all my property and status than lose her. As long as she is willing to stay, I can give up everything. I only want Su Qing. But no matter how sincere his repentance is, no matter how humble his attitude is, I only feel indifferent. The hurt has been deeply rooted in the bone marrow. 3 years of cold violence and betrayal can never be erased by a few words of apology and belated tenderness. Every time Fu Jingyan pestered me, I would reject him coldly and decisively. Fu Jingyan, it's too late. When I was humble and devoted to you, you trampled on my sincerity wantonly. When I endured cold violence alone, you were gentle to others. Your belated repentance is the most worthless thing in the world. I don't need your compensation, and I don't want your love. I have woken up, and I will never go back to the cage that made me suffer. Every cold rejection made Fu Jingyan's heart ache sharply and made his crematorium burn more violently. He could only watch me walk further and further away, watch me become more and more dazzling, and watch myself become the most ridiculous outsider in my life. Chapter 4 Male Second Ascension, Gentle Healing and Bright Contrast. When Fu Jingyan was trapped in endless regret and crazy pestering, a man who truly loved me sincerely walked into my life. His name is Lu Chen, a top medical professor and the youngest honorary president of the city's top hospital. He is gentle, elegant, humble, and courteous, with a calm and powerful temperament. Lu Chen and I were college classmates. He had a secret crush on me for many years, but he never disturbed my life because he knew I was married. He has always silently paid attention to me, watched me endure cold violence in my marriage, watched me suffer silently, and felt distressed for me for 3 years. It was not until I took the initiative to divorce and break free from the wrong marriage that he plucked up the courage to walk into my life, wanting to warm my wounded heart with his tenderness. Unlike Fu Jingyan's arrogant possession and forced repentance, Lu Chen's love is gentle, respectful, and healing. He never pestered me arbitrarily, never forced me to accept his feelings, and only gave me the most appropriate care and silent company. He knew that I had suffered great hurt in my marriage, so he always took the initiative to keep a safe distance, respecting all my choices and boundaries. When I was busy with work and stayed up late, he would quietly send warm supper and nourishing tea to my studio, without disturbing my work. When I was in a bad mood and depressed, he would accompany me for a walk quietly, listen to my troubles, and comfort me gently with the most soothing words. When Fu Jingyan pestered me endlessly and made trouble, he would take the initiative to stand in front of me, block all disturbances from me, and protect me from all wrong hurts. What's more precious is that he truly sees me, appreciates my talent, respects my independence, and loves my soul, not my appearance or status. With my mind-reading superpower, I can hear his truest inner thoughts clearly every time. His heart is always gentle and sincere. As long as she is happy, it doesn't matter if I can't be with her. I just want to protect her from being wronged again. She has endured too much pain. I will use my whole life to heal her wounds and let her live a relaxed and happy life. Pure, sincere, and selfless love, completely different from Fu Jingyan's selfish and possessive love. The appearance of Lu Chen completely stimulated Fu Jingyan, making his already burning crematorium burn into a prairie fire. When Fu Jingyan saw Lu Chen gently sending me home, saw him carefully taking care of my emotions, saw me showing a relaxed and bright smile that I never had in front of him, his jealousy and regret almost drove him crazy. He blocked us at the street corner, his eyes red, his whole body full of violent possessiveness and panic, his voice hoarse and desperate. Ching Ching, stay away from him. He doesn't love you. Only I love you. Give me another chance. Lu Chen stood in front of me calmly, his tone gentle but powerful, without any aggression, but full of firm protection. President Fu, love is not possession, nor belated compensation. You didn't cherish her when she loved you, and now you have no qualification to stop her from pursuing happiness. Su Qing deserves the most sincere and gentle love, not your regretful entanglement after losing. Fu Jingyan stared at Lu Chen fiercely, his heart full of crazy jealousy. Why? Why can he get her smile? That smile should belong to me. I regret it so much. I would rather give up everything than let her be with others. I pulled Lu Chen's arm gently, stepped forward, and looked at Fu Jingyan coldly, my tone firm and without any room for maneuver. Fu Jingyan, let me tell you the last time. We are finished completely. I used to love you foolishly, but you ruined all my affection with your own hands. Now I have someone who truly cherishes me, heals me, and loves me. Don't pester me anymore. You are very annoying. The word annoying was like a sharp knife, piercing straight into Fu Jingyan's heart, making his whole body stiff and his face pale. He looked at my cold and unfamiliar eyes, looked at the intimate distance between me and Lu Chen, and finally fell into complete despair. He completely understood that he had no chance at all. The person who warmed his whole world for 3 years had completely left him and belonged to someone else. Hashtag Chapter 5 Career Counterattack, Complete Crush and Revenge. After completely cutting off all ties with Fu Jingyan, I devoted all my energy to my career, completing a gorgeous counterattack that shocked the entire upper class. I officially made public my identity as a top financial investor and independent designer. Overnight, the entire industry was shocked. No one knew that the deserted Mrs. Fu, who was always low-key and forbearing, was actually a hidden top boss whose strength crushed countless industry elites. My independent investment company successfully invested in several top emerging industries, with a revenue growth rate that far exceeded the Fu Group, and my personal assets quickly doubled, surpassing Fu Jingyan in a short time. My design studio launched a series of original works, which became popular all over the country, won numerous international awards, and became a well-known top designer brand. I no longer need to rely on anyone's status, no longer need to endure any grievance, and completely stand at the top of the crowd with my own strength. On the contrary, Fu Jingyan fell into a comprehensive career and life crisis because of his long-term emotional distraction and regret. After I left, no one silently sorted out his work loopholes for him, no one helped him stabilize the group's internal relations, no one endured all the trivial messes for him. He was trapped in the pain of losing me all day long, unable to concentrate on work, resulting in frequent mistakes in group decisions, continuous failure of important projects, and a sharp decline in stock prices. The Fu Group's reputation was severely damaged because of his marital scandal and emotional chaos. Many high-end partners took the initiative to terminate cooperation, and the group fell into an unprecedented operational crisis. From a high-ranking top tycoon, he fell into a predicament of internal and external troubles overnight. What's more painful for him is that he has to watch me become more and more brilliant every day, watch me stand at the top of the industry to receive praise and glory, watch me walk side by side with Lu Chen happily and brightly. Every time he sees my brilliant appearance, his regret will deepen a layer, and his crematorium will burn more fiercely. And Lin Sinyu's ending is even more miserable. After being abandoned by Fu Jingyan and ruined her reputation, she had no source of income and no social connections. She was used to a luxurious life and could not endure ordinary hardships. She tried to rely on her previous connections to climb up again, but no one was willing to help a scheming mistress who destroyed other people's marriages. In the end, she was forced to leave the upper-class circle completely, living a poor and down-and-out life, and could only spend every day in regret and resentment. This is the best retribution for all hypocrisy, greed, and calculation. All the wrongdoings will eventually return to themselves. Those who hurt me will eventually pay a painful price. Hashtag Chapter 6 No Redemption for Regret. Bright female growth ending. 3 years passed in a flash. In these 3 years, I completely completed my self-transformation and growth. I have become a well-known top elite in the financial and design industries, with independent wealth, status, and aura, no longer attached to any relationship, no longer humble and forbearing. I walked out of the shadow of my failed marriage completely, healed all the wounds brought by betrayal and cold violence, and became confident, free, and bright. Lucian has always been by my side, gentle and persistent, using endless tenderness to accompany me to grow up. His love is stable and warm, never pressing, never possessive, only silently guarding and accompanying. After 3 years of getting along, I completely let go of the past and accepted this sincere and warm love. We confirmed our relationship, supported each other's careers, warmed each other's lives, and lived a stable and happy life. He respects my independence, loves my personality, and accompanies me to become a better version of myself. On the other hand, Fu Jingyan's life has never improved. The Fu Group's operation continued to deteriorate, and he was forced to sell most of his assets to maintain operation. His wealthy status plummeted, and he completely fell from the altar. In 3 years, he never stopped repenting and missing me. He kept all my things in the empty villa completely, never changed any layout, and kept the appearance when I left. He would sit alone in the empty villa every night, recalling every bit of our 3 years of marriage, suffering from endless regret and loneliness. He tried countless times to contact me, apologize to me, and beg for reconciliation, but all were blocked by me. He could only silently pay attention to my every move through others, watch me live a happy and brilliant life with Lucian, and watch me completely disappear from his world. At the annual Top Industry Summit, I stood on the highest podium as an industry leader to deliver a speech, shining brightly and attracting everyone's attention. Fu Jingyan sat alone in the corner, his temples slightly frosted, his whole person haggard and old, completely without the high-spirited appearance of the past. He stared at me on the podium with red eyes, and his heart was filled with endless regret and despair. He finally thoroughly understood the truth that he had missed his whole life. The most precious love is never the illusory white moonlight obsession, but the sincere and silent companionship that is by your side every day. He had the best love in the world, but he ruined it with his own hands because of arrogance, blindness, and hypocrisy. Belated repentance is meaningless after all losses. After the summit, Lucian walked towards me with a gentle smile, held my hand naturally, and whispered softly, "Let's go home." I smiled and nodded, held his warm palm tightly, and walked towards the bright future side by side. Behind us, Fu Jingyan sat alone in the empty venue, surrounded by endless darkness and regret. His crematorium burned for 3 full years, and will continue to burn for the rest of his life, with no redemption, no end. He will spend his whole life repenting for his stupidity and ruthlessness, bearing the bitter fruit of his own making alone, and watching the person he missed live the most brilliant and happy life. And I have long broken free from all shackles, abandoned all wrong people and past hurts. I no longer hate, no longer miss, no longer dwell on the past. The best revenge is never to retaliate with hatred, but to live a more wonderful life than everyone else. The past is dusty, the future is bright, and I am the queen of my own life.